Today, there are so many ways that you can make money both in person and online. I myself have been able to make a full-time living working for myself for about 10 years now, and these are the business ideas that I would do if I was starting from scratch in 2024.
First thing I would recommend is making UGC content, which is user-generated content. This is content that you can make on your phone for brands that they post on their accounts, so you don't even have to post it on your account. You don't need to have a following to do this, and you can make pretty good money doing this if you do it right. And some people do this completely faceless as well. I think it's better and you're gonna make a little bit more if you're willing to use your own face. So how much can you make from this? Typically for someone that doesn't have followers, you can charge around $200 for a UGC video. This is a short form video like a TikTok or an Instagram reel. So these brands are just looking for content that they can put on their Instagram or their TikTok account, or that they can run ads behind. Another thing you can do is do a bundle of videos. So you can say, I'll make you 3 UGC videos for $500. The last thing to consider with pricing is paid usage. So if a brand is going to actually be running the content that you make as an ad on TikTok or on Instagram, they have to pay you more for that. A lot of people will build in the first 3 months of usage into their base price, but if the brand wants to extend and use it for another 3 months or another year, what a lot of people will do is just an additional 50% of whatever the base price was. So if your base price is $200 for a video and they want to extend for 3 more months, it would be an additional $100. No additional work for you. Pretty awesome. I've done this before. I've done UGC content for brands, mostly brands that I'm working with on my YouTube channel, but then they pay an additional rate to license the content and use it as ads. And it's awesome, you guys, because it's like, I don't have to do any more work. They're just running it as an ad and I get paid more. I love it. I love it, and you can do this too.
If you want to do this but you don't know where to get started, my friend Nicole actually runs a UGC agency. It's called Ghost Agency, and they are always looking for new UGC creators.
We are always looking for UGC content creators. We handle all of this with the brand so that you don't need to navigate any of that on your own and negotiate and come up with ideas. We love working with creators of all sizes on TikTok. You don't need to have millions of followers. As long as you can make good content, you don't need to be an influencer. So we're always looking for that. Live streamers that are local to LA specifically, but UGC content creators can be literally anywhere.
I'll have Ghost Agency's info below. If any of you guys want to get started with UGC content, you can reach out to them.
So the nice thing with UGC content is you can make it using your phone. It's actually preferred. This is the kind of thing where it doesn't need to look too professional. The look that these companies are going for is a more kind of amateur, just regular iPhone user. But one thing I would recommend is getting a little tripod like this. This is going to make it a lot easier to get all the shots. So if we were getting UGC content for this brand, for example, you would want to get a lot of B-roll of it in like nice lighting. So we'd get a shot where we're placing it down. Maybe we take this off. They want sort of a testimonial, but a very natural one, not like you're selling products on QVC, but just like you're recommending it to a friend on FaceTime. So the next way you've probably heard of before, it is e-commerce, but in a different way than what you're used to. I think what we hear a lot of the time, people just finding a product on Alibaba, sending it to an Amazon warehouse and shipping it out. But the way to do it in 2024 is to customize your product. And also consider hosting it on your own website. You don't have to do it on Amazon. What people sometimes don't realize is you can ask these manufacturers to customize the product. You can change the color. You can even customize the design a lot of the time. So you can find something and make it even better. For example, here's a product that's doing really well already. It's a wine glass, but it's a metallic color. You could message them and ask them to do matte black or a purple, something different than what's already being sold. Other examples I've seen is people make their own card games. We're Not Really Strangers card games are super popular. Friend of mine dinner cards. Yeah, you can message a manufacturer and make your own custom card. This is another random example. Let's take this vegetable chopper. It's a good, useful product, but it's kind of ugly. Imagine if this was redesigned as if Apple designed it. Just a sleek, cleaner look. I think there's a market for that these days. People want nice aesthetics. They want nice looking kitchen tools.
So find what's ugly in the world and see if you can redesign it to make it more beautiful or functional. That's pretty much what our place did with the Always Pan, and they're doing super well.
Instead of thinking of e-commerce as what products can I sell, I feel like you almost want to think of it like an inventor. Like, how can I make this product better? Whether it's functionality, how can it work better? Or how can it just look better? Because there are a lot of things in our everyday life that are kind of ugly that can just be redesigned. One thing you're going to want if you are pursuing e-commerce is a website, and I I would recommend Hostinger because they make it really easy to get set up. They have a bunch of AI tools, so we can create a website really easily here. We're just gonna put in our name and kind of the design that we like. And so you can see we've got a really good base for this website already. I can go in and customize things, so I can change the font if I like, I can upload different photos, or I can just keep it with that original design that they came up with, which is a pretty clean, nice, professional look.
One of the cool AI tools they have is an AI logo generator. You can give it some info about your product and it will come up with a few logo ideas for you.
I don't really know how to code a website, but they make it so I can get it set up in like 30 minutes or less. They've got marketing integrations, e-commerce tools, so you can really create any kind of website that you need with it. And the pricing is also really good. They have a couple options. You can do premium for $2.99 a month or business for $3.99 a month. And I would recommend the business option because that's when you're gonna get the AI tools and the e-commerce tools. So if you guys do want to get started creating a website with Hostinger, you can go to hostinger.com/Shelby, or you can use the coupon code Shelby. I'll have it on the screen and that'll get you 10% off. So the next one I've been seeing a lot in LA that you could replicate in any city is in-person events surrounding an activity. So think run clubs. There's a lot of coffee and cold plunge clubs. There are a bunch of these clubs. They charge like $20 to $40 a ticket. And depending on how much space they have, like the coffee clubs will have like 100 people at them. Tennis ones are usually only like 10. But I think these in-person events are really an interesting way that you could make money, and they sell out. Like I'm telling you guys, all these ones I see in LA are doing very well. It's like people are just like yearning for new activities that aren't just going to happy hour. So all of these that I've seen, they don't own the space. They're typically renting the space. So they'll rent a backyard on Swimply, or they'll get a permit from the city to rent a tennis court or a park, something like that. And then they'll have some kind of activity. So whether that's a game like volleyball, tennis, pickleball, or just cold plunges, saunas, coffee. You could even do different ones like badminton, croquet, bocce, like random stuff. Like I'm telling you, I feel like these are gonna be popping up eventually. Like any kind of niche club, like, or any kind of niche activity, there's like a meetup club that's charging $30 a ticket for it now. There's also run clubs and hot girl walks, although those are typically free. So if you're trying to make money, I don't know if I would do those. But obviously this being an in-person thing, there's a lot more to work out logistically. But I have seen a lot of these get to the point where they're streamlined and the person who's running it isn't even there anymore. They hire people to operate it. So it can become a legit business, and it's actually pretty cool because it's a way that people can get into an activity, meet new people. And you know, I go to the tennis ones a lot and it's really fun. So I want to try the cold plunge one actually. If you're gonna do something like this, what I see work really well is people advertise it mainly on Instagram and TikTok. So they'll make an Instagram account and make it look really cool, like a fun activity. People are kind of looking for this stuff, like things to do in their city. And so I feel like it just kind of picks up naturally as people are posting about it and as people are going to it. But I do think that Instagram is probably the main way that you're gonna advertise something like this. The next one that I think is a pretty cool idea is mobile businesses. So think mobile spray tan businesses, mobile bars, even mobile eyelash extension. I think a mobile spray tan business is one that you can get started with without a lot of money. So I've gotten one of these mobile spray tans before, and someone came to a hotel I was staying at. They had a pop-up tent and a spray tan machine. All in cost for these things under $500. And a lot of these people are charging $100 for a spray tan. It really only takes like 15 to 20 minutes to do the actual tan. The traveling around is definitely not ideal. And that is why I would not charge less than probably $80, because realistically, you can probably only do about one an hour if you're traveling for each one. But you could always limit your range to like a 3-mile radius. I think that these mobile businesses are really smart if you're getting started with some kind of business, because you don't have the overhead of an office space. You don't have to pay for a lease, the utilities, any of that. If it doesn't work out, you're really not out a lot of money. I think something like spray tanning also is a pretty easy skill to learn. I would practice it a lot, maybe take a class before charging people for it, but it's a lot easier than something that's more technical like nails, eyelashes, or hair. That's a lot harder to learn. It's gonna take a lot longer. But I think a spray tan, if you have the right machine, it's easier. It is. So I think this kind of business is actually really smart. Yes, it is time consuming, but you could streamline it, hire people, scale it. You eventually could not even be the one doing the tans, but more of the marketing and sending people out. I think it's possible to do something like that, and I think it's an interesting business. Any of those mobile businesses, if you've never started your own business at all before, it is a low risk way to do it. And I will say, even the founder of the Dry Bar, this is how she got started, and then it turned into the freaking Dry Bar. It's a good way to get started, and you can do this with really any service, any beauty service, or even maybe some kind of home service. The private chefs, those people charge a lot. Yoga, fitness instructors for bachelorette parties. Like, I've also seen people do a mobile bar. So they'll buy like a trailer, or sometimes it's just an e-bike that has some sort of small trailer in the back, and they bring this to events. So I've gone to influencer events that have these kinds of things before. There are all kinds of things you can do as a mobile service business that you can actually make good money in.
The last one that I would try is TikTok Shop.
So listen, I know as a viewer, TikTok Shop is annoying. I scroll past a lot of the videos too, but the reality is a lot of people are actually using it to shop now, and the longer it's been around, the more people are using it to shop and to find products, and they're actually buying things on it. And there are people that have really not a lot of followers who are making a lot of money.
Very first month trying out TikTok Shop, I was able to make almost $4,000, and no, I did not have 5,000 followers.
Make about $100 to $200 a day passively from TikTok Shop videos. And
woke up to this, 16 grand. Mind you, that says today.
TikTok is where you have the most potential to go viral of any of the social media platforms. I've had videos hit 1 million views, and I don't even have more than 20,000 followers on there. So anyone could do it, which is pretty cool.
Still in the early days, so it really takes a lot of testing to be successful as a brand and as a creator. And what typically works well has been working with influencers who have any size of following. It's not really a certain following in particular that is required to be successful as a creator. And so when you're making a short video, what really is successful is making sure that the product that you focus on has either utility, is at the right price point, or really is going to capture the attention of someone through scarcity, whether that's through price or limited edition. What most brands are doing is going on and putting 10 to 15% commission, which is really not going to cut it for most creators. But you can always negotiate with a brand to get higher commission, and a lot of people don't do that because they don't know that they can, right?
Yeah, you can message them on there though.
Yeah, you can. You can message them, you can email them, find their influencer manager on LinkedIn. We have brands that go up to 50% commission, so you are literally receiving half of the price of the product per sale you make. And it's really incentivizing creators to want to make more videos and great content.
Then for creators too, like you would say they're making like a significant amount.
Yes, yeah. It's pretty crazy, and there are creators who are making way more than you would ever imagine. Like someone with 5,000 followers making $400,000 in commission.
Crazy.
Like,
that's crazy.
A couple tips if you are doing TikTok Shop. One thing you want to do is look for products that have a higher commission. You can sell something that makes you 50 cents per purchase or $5 per purchase. It takes the same amount of time to make the video. You might as well look for items that are going to pay you a little bit more. It also helps to look through the best sellers. These are things that are selling well, that people are already buying. TikTok Shop does have a lot of cheap Amazon, Temu-esque products, but they also have Princess Polly, Revolve, Vacation Sunscreen. They've got, so you don't have to go for extremely cheap stuff. Go browse on TikTok Shop. I bet you'll find something that you already have in your house that you can make a video about.
So those are the things I would try if I were starting from scratch in 2024. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.